Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back on the Pokemon franchise. And I'm moving on to film number 5, Pokemon Heroes, the movie. Uh, released in Japan 2002, but released in the US in 2003. And this was the last one to be released in theaters because it performed horribly. And then since then, the rest of it's been direct to videos. And now with this one, I would say, do I like this one better than Pokemon Forever? Um, probably. It's like a yes or no answer. I don't know. Just maybe it's about there. Maybe it's probably the same as Pokemon Forever. The first three were still the best. That's why. But beside that, I still like the movie. And when the film it came out in May 2003 in the U.S. It got negative reviews once again. This time has a 60% of Rotten Tomatoes, which is higher than the first two and Pokemon Forever. But it does have a 6.1 IMDb, which is like the highest so far out of all the previous 4 films. And the film ended up being another box office bomb in the U.S. because it made like on opening weekend debut in number 20. We'll make a little over 200,000. Because it didn't help because it opened the same weekend as The Matrix Reloaded. So that was horrible. A really for release date. And also at the time people were seeing Finding Nemo at the time. So it performed horribly in the US. It was another box office flop. It cost around probably the same around the previous one for Pokemon Forever. And it made much more. It made under 1 million. It was like 700,000 in the U.S. So there was another definite box office flop, and ultimately worldwide it made 20 million. So, but that much is considered another box office flop. So, Pokemon Forever and this film were the box office flops in the U.S. So, and that's why. Because of that, I guess that's why they from now on it's been direct to videos, and that's why this was the last one that was released in the U.S. But there was a possible thing. There was a positive thing that came with the thing. Well, on the series for the Washington Post says on the back says kids that love Pokemon will have a blast. I think maybe overall, I could definitely say that maybe I can say it's slightly better than Pokemon Forever. Maybe I can say that it's slightly better than Pokemon Forever. So, and also, it was also worthy enough to because it was gonna be one of the nominations for an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, but I guess it never made the list. So I guess it would be the first time that an animated film that's based on a Japanese television series that would have been nominated for an Oscar for Best Animated Feature, but I guess it never made the list because Finding Nemo won for the Oscar won the Oscar for Best Animated Film, and the other ones was Brother Bear as well. But I was like, okay, I guess this would be the first time a Pokemon film, let alone a Japanese film based on a Japanese TV series, would have been nominated for an Oscar, and this one would have been worthy enough to win. So yeah, I guess I could look at this film. I could have seen that this film would have been nominated for an Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film. But beside all that, the film flopped horribly. So, and this one did open up with another Pokemon short, unlike Pokemon Forever, called Camp Pikachu, and it brings the return of the Pikachu brothers from Pokemon 3. And they were riding on a train back to the big city, like they were in the for number 3, but they somehow they got off it, and you got the Pokemon of Ashes and Misty's Pokemon. They got Pikachu, Cyndaquil, Totodile, Psyduck, Togepi, and Phanpy by this time. Because this is big towards like end of Master Quest, and before Ash went to the Hoenn region, and he got Phanpy from an egg, and also Meowth is on his own, but this time he's accompanied by Wobbuffet. And the Pichu brothers meet the pre-evolved form of Wobbuffet called Wynot, and they meet the Pikachu and the gang, and Pikachu is happy to see the Pichu brothers again. So, and as they do, they have to try to make their way back to the train that stopped, I guess, for this place. And as they're going along, you have this as they're going through the countryside, you have this somewhat of a country music song about Pikachu and everyone else as they're walking. I wouldn't say that it's a Pokemon country song though, but I don't think it works in a Pokemon film in general. I mean, it's like weird having a country music song playing in a Pokemon movie. I just think that didn't fit. So that's like the first nitpick that I have is, I mean, I won't say the song is not horrible though, but it just didn't, having a country music song in a Pokemon film doesn't seem to work to me. So this song is playing as they're walking along until they stop in the middle of the night, and as they're one of the Pichu brothers wanders off, and it gets scared by a Duskull, who is a friend of Wynot. So they plan to play a scary prank on the other Pichu brother, which it does, and then the Duskull says goodbye. And also, they also scare, the Duskull comes back to scare Meowth and Wobbuffet. And it begins to rain, so they get accompanied by a Volbeat that have them to sleep in this mill. But Meowth and Wobbuffet, they go inside, but Meowth accidentally turns on the whole mill, and everyone is all running around because all the gears are, they're all running around because the gears is running, and they want to try how to shut the whole thing off, and everyone's running around how to try to shut it off, and they're like all playing on they're not playing on the gears, they're trying to stop the gears, but that won't do anything. And at one point, Totodile is riding on one giant gear that gets loose and rolls it up there or whatever. So ultimately, they get them. They turn it off, and till the next morning, they say goodbye to Volbeat, and they see that then as they're walking, they see the train at the station, and they slide down the hill, but they're too late. The train takes off, but they get one of those I forget what kind of card you handle, one handle, you just go up and down to make a move. I forget what the thing is called. And one of the Pichus gets on, but they fall behind, and thanks to Psyduck, they switch on the wrong track. So the end gave this bump in the track, and they start flying. So Totodile uses his water gun to push the other Pichu brother down to him faster. And Meowth and Wobbuffet, they have one thing to know for them. They get hung on a Skarmory, and it gets dropped into the tender where the coal is. And they say goodbye. After that, they say goodbye to the Pichu brothers, and that's the end of that short. So then we get into our movie Hero, which is called Pokemon Heroes. Latios and Latias, and it opens up with you get our two villains, these two women named Oakley and Annie. They say that they work for Giovanni, the head of Team Rocket, and they steal a book about the whole thing about the story about them. Latios and Latias, and then it opens up with in the city of Altomir, which is, they said, with the old guy in the film that says it's called the High Sea. But it also looks like a Pokemon version of Italy, because you know how the canals, like the boats going through the buildings, in the water rivers, whatever. And it opens up with a water competition. Um, Ash and a Misty are competing against this other guy who has a Welmer. So, and you have they have the theme song playing for no time to question, stick to the path that I choose. Me and my friends and do it right. Sit to the fire, that song. That was playing for the theme for uh Master Quest. So, but then one thing is Ash falls behind, and the kind one, um Latias, tries to help him finish the race, but Latios interferes and he ends up losing the race. So Misty ends up winning, and they get the tour to the they get toured to the museum. They get one thing leads to another is that as they're heading towards the museum, well, first with the two girls, Oakley and Annie. They said that with the legend said that Latios and Latias, they possess powers, and that they can also transform into humans. So they see one, which is Latias, and they see the Latias in human form, which takes on a form of a girl named Bianca, which they meet later. And the season wants to give Pikachu a drink, and sees Ash, and then she Latias is being chased by the two women, and who has an Espeon and an Ariados Trityra, but then Ash sees them, interferes, try to make them they run through alleyway until Ash sees Brock and Misty, but Latias disappears. And as they get to the museum, the old guy who's Bianca's grandfather, who was that guy? Lorenzo, and tells him about the legends of Latios, and tells the story that there are two evil Pokemon. Well, an evil Pokemon trainer who used a Kabutops and an Aerodactyl to destroy the city, and the story that Latios used all his power, to get rid of them, and filled and turned that's also how they use the Aerodactyl and Kabutops, to use them to turn the streets into canals. That's how they are right now. And Latios sacrificed itself, and its children were left as orphans. That's why we have another Latios and a Latias. And its soul has become a jewel called the Soul Dew. So that's what the two women are planning to use, to steal is not only the Latios, but also the Soul Dew as well. And also to power up this machine called the Defense Mechanism of Altamir. And it's supposed to be used it says it's supposed to be used in a case of disaster. That's what's supposed to be in case of emergency, basically something like that. And and then while at the museum, Ash sees what he's supposed to be with the same girl, which is the same girl, that is Bianca, and but as he tries to catch up to her, he meets up with the Latios disguise as Bianca again, and takes him to a secret place. And that's where Bianca and Lorenzo are there still, because they help protect the place as well. and just shows that Latios was being a little bit protective, and then Latios reveals itself, and because it's saying that that Latios kind of not but Latios not he is that she that kind of likes Ash, and they fully trust him. He won't tell no one. They shows the soul do. If they is taken for this place, all the rivers will run dry. So ultimately he leaves, says goodbye, but later in the night, the two girls they find what the place is, and they capture Latios, but they try to capture Latios, but Latios gets in the way and gets to capture even more, so that Latios can escape. And they get the soul dew, and then the water starts. As soon as they do, the water starts flowing, and they take it to the museum. Latios gets in to warn Ash who's at the Pokemon Center. And the girls, they get to the museum. Oakley gets in the machine, activates it, and probably gain control. Locks down the city because all these bars, so no one can get out, whatever. And Ash knows that something's wrong, so him and Pikachu go and help Latias. And also, since they interfered with them again, they plan. Oakley uses the machine to bring back Aerodactyl and Kabutops. See, but their eyes are not different. They're like yellow eyes, so these are like undead Pokemon. So the first time you see like zombie Pokemon, because their eyes are not normal, so they're like they're undead Pokemon. Like zombie Pokemon. You can guess. To use to try to stop them, but one of the least you get chased by them, but they defeat him easily. But they ultimately get to the museum while Lorenzo and Browncar are tied up, by Ariados's webbing. And I don't know what happened. Ash tries to get him out, and so is Latios, and one of the at least another is that early before that, Latios does something where it screws in the machine, and sorry, how it happens, like they try to like the machine starts to go out of control, and one thing leads to another is that they eventually try to get Latios out of this ringed prison, I think, and like when and he tries to grab the soul do again. They just go haywire once again, and they go get trapped in that side of the control panel, and all the rivers and waters have run dry. But ultimately, when Brock missed to catch up, they see that there's this big, huge tidal wave from the distance that's gonna, like how this prophecy is supposed to be. Like this huge tidal wave and is coming towards the city, and Latios and Latias, they use their powers to stop the. It was a tidal wave or a tsunami, how it's called, doesn't matter. But ultimately, though, that Latios gives its own life, and just like how it was in the old story. Drew gives his own life to bring back the waters, and the undead Pokemon, the Aerodactyl and Kabutops, they go back into being fossils. And Latios becomes the new Soul Dew. the new protector of the city. So they put Latios, or the soul do, back in its place. The rivers flow again, and but now they know, but they see that they know that's Latios. So they ask, where's Latios going? Then well, this happened before, like a couple times earlier, that they use sight sharing, where they see from the point of view of Latios. So they see where Latios is going. You see these, it keeps on expanding, going away. When they're in space, they see they're going to pulling away from Earth, and that's that. And so after that, as they're about to leave, um, they want to know where Bianca is at, and which if it's either Bianca or Latias in disguise, gives Ash the drawing, and then kisses Ash, and Brock, is like, oh, he's like, oh, I am so jealous. I mean, to me, I know that's to me that's Latias, because when Latios is a disguise, as Bianca has always been silent, doesn't speak anything, so obviously that's Latias. So a Pokemon that likes a human, kisses Ash, and Brock is like, oh, I'm so jealous. Obviously, that is Latias. So yeah, Latias kisses Ash, and runs off, and gives Ash the drawing. As they're leaving, as the credits roll, they see, as the credits go on, Ash sees three more camouflage. Two Latioses and one Latias. Means that's they're I guess they're more children. I guess there's just more of them disappeared. And also, Bella with Team Rocket, they're in this though, but they're not in that much. So I can say they were in this film a lot less than all the previous ones. Like, they show up one time when they're eating, one time when they're eating ice cream, and another time where they're trying to catch up with the two women. And one time they all both end up getting washed away at the end. So they're in this film not that much. So to me, they're pointless and not as much need as they were in the previous film. So yeah, they were not in this film that much. So I guess I would say overall total maybe like a minute and a half at most. So, and also as the credits are going, the two women, they're in jail and they're reading on a book, and which really enough it's a book that's about from Lawrence III, who was the villain in Pokemon 2000. Yeah, they have a book on him, like that. She got his picture and like his airship from the movie in there, as they're reading a book of while they're in jail, and it shows them rest of the gang on their journey once again. So yeah, so you got like a picturesque cameo of Lawrence III from Pokemon 2000 in a book. So yeah, Pokemon Heroes. Yeah, I do like it. I think I put this slightly above more than Pokemon Forever. Also, one thing I forgot to say is the start of the Heroes movie, which it's another complaint. Is like, okay, they reuse footage from they reuse the opening footage from Pokemon Forever. With Brock talking about Pokemon, and talks about Ash and his journey. Yeah, they use the same opening footage from Pokemon Forever. I mean, why do they use that? I mean, could just like do a different kind of opening with Brock telling the story, but no, they have to reuse the opening. I mean, at first it kind of confused me because like, am I watching Pokemon Forever again? Because that they reused the same opening footage from the beginning of Pokemon Forever, and I was like, am I watching Pokemon Forever? No, so I had to quickly fast forward and say this was the right movie, otherwise I could have been mistaken. So no, it's the same movie. They just used recycled footage of the opening from Pokemon Forever and put that in the beginning. So that way that was pointless and lame. So, and also, I know it's before the Horn Ranger because Why Not was in this. You saw a Whalmer and such, but Also, you don't see a Skitty or a Trico or a Torchic anyway in this movie, so why? I don't know why these are on the back here because you don't see them in the movie. I mean, yeah, you saw Wynot from the short from the short though, and you saw a Whalmer at the opening where during the water race, but that was pretty much it, before the Hoenn region. And I don't know why these three right here where they're not in the movie or in the short at all. So I guess they just put them on here just for the sake of it. So yeah. So there's only a few nitpicks in this though, but I still like the movie. Like the nitpick, like I said, in the short, Camp Pikachu, like that country music song that as they're walking through, didn't fit the movie. Didn't need to put that in there. Could have do like a regular song, like a Journey song, but that country music song didn't fit in a Pokemon movie. Um, the opening, like I said about the opening, using the recycle footage from the beginning of Pokemon Forever. And also, yeah, I don't know why they just put these three on here when they're not in the movie at all, so. But, regardless, I still like the movie, and I would say, yeah, I thought it would be interesting to see if this film was nominated for an Oscar for Best Animated Feature Film. I mean, the way it is, I think it looked like it was. It could be like an Oscar for an animated feature film. But that's just me, though, um... But I do think it's slightly better than Pokemon Forever. And yeah, so this is and I could tell and I guess how the way the film looks, it looks like it's from theaters, of course. But yeah, this is the last one that was released in theaters, and since then in the U.S. I think they still the other ones they make money. I guess they were still in theaters in Japan though, but they still think they some of them still made some money in Japan still, but this is the last one that was released in the U.S. because it bombed horribly. And the film is not that long of a film. It's much shorter than the previous ones. It's only like about 71 minutes. So it's much shorter than the previous films were. I mean, like the first three was about 80 some minutes, and the fourth one I think it was like almost 80 minutes. But this one's a much shorter film, so yeah, these like I said, all these Pokemon films they're not long movies, so this one's much more shorter. But yeah, I think I do like this. I do like this a bit more than Pokemon Forever. Um, yeah, other than a few nitpicks, yeah, and also forgot to mention this is also no, this is I guess after Pokemon 3 and starting with Pokemon 4, I guess it's no longer Warner Brothers. It's where is it? Max. You can see right there, or better yet, yeah, it's right there. I guess it was released by Miramax, no longer Warner Brothers. I guess only the first three ones were released by Warner Brothers, but now this one's like Pokemon Forever, and this one's by Miramax. But yeah, I still like Pokemon Heroes, and I guess some of these people some people don't care for some of these sequels, but I would say yeah, for the most part, I do enjoy the sequels. I don't know if there is one that I don't care for though, but I have to keep on going as I go along down the list. So, yeah, but I'm sure there's bound to be one of them, at least one of them I don't care for though. But have to wait and see as I keep on going down them. So, but yeah, Pokemon Heroes, the movie, I like, and I still do. I think it's a bit more than Pokemon Forever. Maybe it's because like the more how the location is, like it's sort of like in a place like Italy. Um, well, this says the movie is based on Venice, Italy, because how the way the city is and the canals are, whatever. And plus, this is like high sea. Alto Mars means high sea in Italian, so I guess it's like maybe because I guess that is like a different location. I guess a place sort of like Italy, I guess. And yeah, I guess that's why. But story wise, I would say I mean, the villains, yeah, they were not much. I still say, like, between Lawrence the Third and Pokemon 2000 and the two females in this movie, I think I will still say probably in Pokemon Forever is that the villain was much more the Iron Mask Marauder. I would say it's still much more of a better human villain than the one in Pokemon 2000 and this one for sure, because his plan was to use Celebi and destroy everything, and this one I felt nothing. Yeah. So yeah, the guy in Pokemon Lawrence the Third Pokemon 2000 much, and these two women in this one were nothing. I guess there's another nitpick right there. But it's not a rant though, because I still like the movie. I'm just pointing out comparisons for the human villains. So far the best human villain of these films was in Pokemon Forever. So, but yeah, but Pokemon Heroes I still like, and I don't know if there's no more I can say. But I'll say this is the last one that was released in theaters in the U.S. So since then, now they're gonna be direct-to-video films. But yeah. I would imagine if this film was nominated for an Oscar. I guess it would have been the first one ever, but it didn't happen. But yeah, that's my review for Pokemon Heroes. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't take much to review these ones, unlike the previous first three ones, because they took a bit longer though. But these ones are not the long of film, so that's why it's probably a little more shorter. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review when hopefully it's gonna be well, which one I can I can't read them all from over here. But anyway, and I'll see you on the next review.